Hey, what's up guys, it's T-Bone here and welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. So the event Ragnarok is almost at its close, a day and 15 hours remaining as of this video. I was on vacation early and had just returned, and so I've been playing a little bit of a catch-up here. And also we've kind of sort of started discussing within the guild on how to maximize our damage based on the team makeup. And so I thought I'd just do a quick video here just to sort of, show how I try to maximize my damage using the team that I have as well as the relics I have in my possession. And there may be much better tactics out there. I'm interested in seeing what they are, but for now I'd just like to share what I've got. So the team that I've got here, I'm using Freyja at 6-star, and I'm using her as a leader to take advantage of the 10 times Slayer bonus. She's not maxed up yet, but she does have about 2,000 attack for the leader, and then another one's 1950. So these are the two cards I have. I also have Kw'uk the Hunter to destroy all the gems using his ability, and then I brought in Icarus, who's very important for this type of deck because she increases the drop rate of water gems for the next turn. And then Priestess C'reen to create a power 3 gem. So, and then let's take a look at the relics I brought in as well. So I do have 2 relics that are Exalted Saber, which create, adds additional 726 damage at level 10, 704 at level 8. And then I have 3 different relics that create gems, the Ice Axe, the Minotaur Slayer, and the Mjolnir. So these are all 3 different relics that apply to 3 different units, and together they create a lot of gems. So let's go in and I do a fight here and see how we do. So let's pick a new one that we have not yet tagged, and let's go ahead and use 3 keys. So my general strategy right off the bat is to try and create 2 powered gems if possible, depending on the layout of the board. Sometimes it's not always necessarily possible, but sometimes you can. And so what I do is I don't try to match everything. I simply try to match ones that are close to each other. See, what I did was I did the power 4 and the power 1 next to each other, because what I wanted to do is I want to make sure that I don't waste any turns. I can use my Kw'uk and then use your Freyja's power after you use Kw'uk, and I'll tell you why. Basically, the goal here is you're going to be most effective if you can get Kw'uk's ability to be triggered and have all of the power gems on the very bottom so that you can line them up perfectly. And sometimes, and because Kw'uk does not destroy any blue gems, if you use Freyja, what happens is you run the risk of creating additional gems underneath where the power gems are, and then when you use Kw'uk's ability, then what happens is they would be created underneath the power gem, and then the power gem will stay on top where it's not going to be lined up nicely along the bottom. And so that's why you use Freyja's ability at the end just to fill up the board and then match that way. So let's see how much damage we did on that one. So 520. So this is sort of, so depending on how I do, I can also go up to between 650 or 700 or so, but 500 is about a good amount of damage. And so let's try again and see what happens if perhaps this time I will not be able to create my gems right next to each other. So what do I do there? So let's see what happens on this fight. Okay. So this one actually lends itself very nicely to having gems, 2 gems to be created, but you can see here I don't have them next to each other, and in fact, even if I were to use C'reen, it will not be next to each other. So what I do is I actually use this chance, then I sacrifice the second turn, and then I move the gem next to each other, and then I go through the same steps here, Icarus, then Kw'uk, and then I also use Freyja, and I hope sometimes Freyja actually fills in the additional holes nicely so that you can actually, get that nice line fill on the bottom. In this case, it didn't really do that, but it's okay. So let's just make sure that what I'm trying to do now is keep in mind that when you sacrifice a turn, Kw'uk's ability will not be available until the turn after this. And so my hope is that Fear will kick in, but will not take away his ability, and it depends at this point what happens. So it looks like it did get taken out, so I'm going to use... so that's unfortunate. So what happens is at this point, you know, after the first 3 turns, you're really sort of just hoping for the best at that point, because I don't have any card that actually dispels fear. I am sort of at the mercy of the you know, Kw'uk's ability getting taken away at the time I need him to, and plus I had to sacrifice a turn there. But you can see, so the first time I did about 500 or so damage, and then I did about the same the second time as well. So it was actually kind of nice. So like the first 2 attacks here, actually I was able to show the 2 different strategies I have. The first one is what to do on the when you can use everything on the first turn, and what to do if you can't actually line up everything on the first turn. Sacrifice the first turn, move the gems next to each other on the second turn, and then go forth. The worst situation is if they're so far apart you can't actually move them together, then just don't waste the turn. Just go ahead and use it, and then you know, hope for the best for that particular attack. And so that was pretty much all I wanted to show. Let me know if there's any other strategies that you may have with this type of cards. Keep in mind, I don't have all of the you know, feature cards here. I actually did try. I actually spent some gems to try and get the Thor, and you can see I went up to tier 4 here, and I did not get him. In fact, I got another Aphrodite, so that was unfortunate. But anyways, so that's pretty much it for this video. I wanted to keep it nice and short. I'm not going to talk about the Bounty of Dungeon. Probably I'll talk about it in the next episode. For now, I just wanted to show sort of my strategy, my tactics. Let me know if there's something that I could do differently. I look forward to hearing feedback. Thanks again. Take care. I'll see you next time.